If you're an avid watcher of Maple Witch Cafe's YouTube channel, you no doubt saw part 1 of this series. In case you missed it, we discussed very basic card making, including different cutting tools and cutting techniques. The results were less than impressive, but if you practiced along with us, you got really good at cutting sheets of cards. This time we're going to learn some techniques for making more durable, longer-lasting cards, not to mention better looking. Welcome to part 2 in our series on card making, double layered cards. To do this, you'll need paper to print your cards on. We'll be working with an array of choices, including 20-pound plain paper, some flimsy 40-pound cardstock, a more sturdy 65-pound cardstock, and some fancy 24-pound linen paper. Step 1. Print out your cards. For this video, we'll be using the Big Cheese from Cheapass games, Lost in the Woods by Robert Johnson, and the Decktet by P.D. Magnus. You'll be printing out one sheet for the front and one for the back. If you have a print-and-play deck that doesn't offer card backs, you can use blank paper or improvise your own. I tried improvising a neat card back for the Big Cheese, but found it didn't line up for cutting, so I ended up improvising a second, more forgiving design. Lost in the Woods came with card backs, but I just left the backs of the Decktet blank. Step 2. Glue the fronts and backs. Now, you may have noticed we called these double layered cards. That's because we're going to use 2 layers of paper on each sheet. To glue them together, we're using spray adhesive, available at your friendly local craft store. This includes an even coating of glue without lumps or bumps. We do not recommend using glue sticks, as the stickiness is weak and sometimes wears off. And definitely don't use liquid glue. Though this may seem obvious, you want to glue the sheets together so that the printed sides are on the outside. It might be helpful to line the fronts and backs up alongside each other, and use small pieces of Scotch tape to stick them together. If you're printing on linen paper, check the texture. Some brands may have one side of the page that is more textured than the other. Print on the textured side so that you can glue the flatter sides together. Give them a good spray with the adhesive. Make especially sure that you get the corners. Then you can use the Scotch tape seams to fold them over. For best results, start on the inside edge, then roll them over, and then smooth them out. This is easier to do with paper than with heavy cardstock, which just kind of flops over. Step 3. Let them dry. Unlike glue sticks or liquid Elmer's glue, spray adhesive prevents the paper from curling or wrinkling in most cases. If you're still concerned, you can place something flat and heavy on top while the glue sets. Step 4. Cut them out. Use your favorite method of cutting out the cards. If you watch part 1, you have a few tools and techniques to choose from. For the most efficient methods of processing copious amounts of cards, use a rotary cutter or a guillotine-style chopper. Optional Step 5. Clip the corners. If your cards are printed with rounded edges, or you just want to make them look a little more professional, you can round the corners out once you've cut them. You can use scissors, but it's a little time-consuming and there's no guarantee that they'll all come out even. You can buy little corner punches like this one at any friendly local craft store, especially one that sells scrapbooking supplies. Don't bother doing this with the paper cards. They're pretty low quality and not worth it. With the cardstock cards, it's up to you. If you sprang the extra money for linen paper, you'd better round those corners. It would be a shame to drop that much coin on sloppy-looking cards. So, how did they turn out? And most importantly, will they shuffle? The double-layered paper cards will not. They're too flimsy to really be of much use, and they're certainly not worth the effort we put into making them. Don't waste your time. The thin cardstock cards shuffle okay. They seem durable enough to use regularly and would certainly be suitable for regular use. The thicker cardstock cards will shuffle, but they might need to be broken in a little, since they're pretty stiff. They're great for frequent play since they're pretty sturdy. The linen paper shuffles quite nicely, and the texture feels good on the fingertips. In part 3 of this series, we'll show you a way to make it really glide across your fingertips, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you're notified when it goes live. And there you have it. 2 ways to make your own print and play cards or homebrew gaming prototype. The more time you're willing to invest in these cards, the higher quality product you'll wind up with. In the next episode, we will take things to a whole new level by literally adding another layer of complexity. We'll tackle triple layer cards. So long for now. Don't forget to like this video if you found it useful. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notified when our next video is out. This is Jason from Maple Witch Cafe reminding you to dine in and game on.